Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book review video. I have 7 books this time, and it seems like it's been like forever since I did a book review video. The last one I did was Valentine's Day type of books, so let's just get right into it. So this one is called Glossed and Confused. It's a Bath and Body Mysteries by India Inc. And it's about this, it's about this woman who she owns this makeup, this salon, and her makeup artist goes missing. And she wants to know why, because then when they found her car, it was near the water, and she's terrified of water. And Persia, that's the main character. She is like, she couldn't have gone into the water because she's afraid of it and stuff like that. And then this girl was also, the girl that died was also going through some stuff with her dad's estate because her dad died. And it was her and her sister trying to figure out what to do with the estate. Okay, so it was a good book. I never read one of those mysteries before, and it was a good mystery. So this one was kind of iffy. There was 5 short stories in this book, and I only liked the last 2. It's called The Pride of Monsters. It's by James H. Schmitz. I guess that's how you say his last name. I don't know. This is what it looks like. And I feel like I want to try and get into sci-fi books, but I feel like every time I get a sci-fi book, it's an older book. Like, I think this one was written in the 70s. And the first 3 were kind of like the same type of story, where they're in space and there's this monster that they're trying to kill, that type of thing. The last 2 stories I liked. The second one, the second to last one, the 4th one, was called A Pork Chop Tree. And it was about this tree. It was kind of like Little Shop of Horrors, kind of, where it was this tree that they found on this deserted planet. There was no people on it. And here, I think this plant, it forms a connection with people before it kills them to eat them. And the last one was Green Face. It was this kind of monster, some kind of monster creature that this guy finds, that every time he sees it, it grows more. And he owns this fishing camp, and that's where it lives, and he's trying to kill this monster off. So the last 2 were good. The other 3 were kind of the same, where they're on a spaceship and there's this monster that they're trying to figure out what it is and why it's there, and should they destroy it. So this author, I really like her stories, especially the Meg Laszlo mysteries. Those are the only ones that I've read by this author, I think, so that's probably why I like them. I don't know if she writes other books, a different series or not, but this is the series I like. It's Murder with Puffins. It's by Donna Andrews. It's a Meg Laszlo mystery. This is what it looks like, and it's basically about this girl, Meg. Her and her boyfriend are planning a trip to her aunt's house on this island, and when they get there, all of her relatives are in this little house or cabin or cottage. And while they're there, this guy who builds this glass house on this beach, nobody really likes him. He ends up dying, and they're trying to figure out why he died. And Murder with Puffins is because on this island, this is usually where the puffins stay usually, and there's these group of people, they call them birders, I think. They're there to take pictures of birds and stuff like that, and they're trying to find a puffin. These books are cool. These books, I like Meg Laszlo because she's a no-nonsense type of woman. She gets down to it. And I like her, she's funny sometimes when she's talking about different characters in the book. And some of her books, not all of them, are kind of they have a punny title. This one I don't think is a punny title for anything. Just most of her books that I have to read are bird related. There's that one. I think there's a parrot one I forget if there's other ones, but yeah. This one is a 2-in-1 book. It's a Harlequin book, and it's called Sweet Texas Surprise. It's by Tina Leonard. This is what it looks like. And it's about the two stories are centered around four babies. There are four different babies in each story. The first one's called Sweet Callahan Homecoming. This one is where this man, he goes to find this elderly lady's granddaughter, and it turns out that he is the father to this girl's babies, and he's trying to get her to marry. He's trying to get her to marry him, and she doesn't want to do it because she's like, oh, you don't want to be married, like she has this mission, I guess, where well, it wasn't that, it was her uncle, I think it was her uncle. He ends up, he's this bad person who works, in, I don't know if I could say it, in bad stuff, and she, kills him in the prologue of the book, but here it turns out he did, and, her boyfriend, I guess you could call him. And he tells her that but she's still in her head about how she needs to finish the job. She needs to she thinks, everybody knows that she did this, so everybody's gonna hate her, all that stuff, so she doesn't want to come back to town. And he tells her that he did it, and here he's still alive, her uncle, and she's trying to keep her kids safe. Her man's trying to keep her safe, that type of thing. It was just kind of repetitive in this book, where every sentence in the chapters, it was about he wanted to marry her and stuff like that, and she didn't want to until she figured out what to do about her uncle. And that's just the only thing where it was every chapter is oh, I want you to marry me, but you don't want to. Why don't you want to? I want to marry you, blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. The last book was the better book in this set. It's called A Secret Agent Surprise. It's about this man who he used to work at his dad's ranch. I think it was a ranch. Yeah. And I think it was a ranch. I don't think they called it a farm. I think it was a ranch. And he's going to inherit his money from his dad. He has to live on this ranch for a year or two and be married. And him and his dad don't have a good relationship. And he's actually a spy kind of person. I don't know what he did. I think it was something, I don't remember. I don't know if he said it. It was something where he went on a mission to help these kids, and something happened, and he wants to stop doing secret agent stuff. So he decides to go back home to this place, and here he meets this woman who he knew, I think, in his childhood. I think. Or maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if he knew her in her childhood or she just knew him. I don't remember. Or the family, something like that. And they end up, what happens is his dad's trying to set him up with this girl, and the one thing that he's trying to do is get them to have a family already. So he's trying to he's trying to adopt these babies, and then his son decides to try to adopt them because he finds out that his dad's sick. And he needs to be temporarily married to this girl so that way he can adopt these babies. And it's a cute story. The ending I wish ended differently because it didn't it didn't really it wasn't an epilogue that said oh, it's a year later and they're married and stuff like that. It didn't say they were married. It didn't it did say there was a little invitation type of thing in the back about I don't know if it was their baptism or it was their adoption day. Yeah, it was the adoption of these babies. That's what the invitation was for at the end. But yeah, it didn't really say if they got married at the end. It was just basically like they decided to be together, and then it didn't really. I think they were trying to get married, but it didn't say like they were married at the end of the book. There was no like epilogue. So this book is a book that I read by this author, a book by this author before, and I liked these books. It's a culinary mystery. It has recipes in it. It's called Death à l'Orange. It's by Nancy Fairbanks. It takes place in France. This is what it looks like. It's about this woman, Carolyn, who she's going to France, kind of like a vacation, but it's kind of for her work. She writes culinary articles for different newspapers around the States, and she's there, and this professor's there who things start happening to him, and when he's with other people in this tour group, things happen to them too, and she's trying to figure out why these things are happening to this guy, and here, like, something happens to her with this guy character, and she, like, realizes, she's like, oh yeah, this is why these things are happening to him, or why somebody's trying to, like, kill him or whatever. And there's some history in this book too, which is really cool too, and there's like little excerpts of different reasons why, different factoids about the different dishes and how they came about and the reasons why they came about, that type of thing. It was a good book. It was a short book. It only had like 200 some pages in it. I forget how many, maybe 280, something like that. I don't remember. This is called Earthly Treasures. I read some books. I read another book by this in the same series as this book, but it was a while ago. It's the Sugar Creek Amish Mysteries. It's by Annalisa Daughety. I think that, or Dodd, I don't know how you say her last name. This is what it looks like. This person comes to town in this Amish community for this geocaching, scavenger hunt, and she explains what it is. Basically, like, you put in coordinates on your phone to find these different clues that lead you to these other clues that lead you to this grand prize, and she wants to do it, and she does this with her, like, friends, and here things start happening in the scavenger hunt where the clues keep getting messed up. What else happens? I forget. Like, the clues just keep getting messed up. There's people who don't want the geo scavenger hunt to happen. The owner or the person that's sponsoring this says, like, she was getting some, like, weird calls from people saying, like, the clues weren't at this place. There was nothing on the card that they get when they get to that spot in scavenger hunt saying where to go next, that type of thing. And it was a shock who did it, kind of who, like, the reason why they did this. It was like a little twist on the story, because there's like two different stories in this book with with the main character and her friends, and then another group that's doing the scavenger hunt with them. This is a good book, you guys. This is a good book. I really didn't think I was gonna like it. It's like a historical, I don't know if it's a historical fiction or just a fiction book, but it's called Homefront Girls by Suzanne Hayes and Loretta Nyman. That's what it looks like. They should make a book, or not a book, a movie out. I was gonna say a story. They need to make I was gonna say book again. They should make a movie out of this book because it's good. There's no chapters in this book. It's basically just like a letter format book. And it's about these two women who are corresponding letters to each other, plus their husbands. Their husbands are in the World War II. And I think it's in 1941 they start, and then, yeah, I think it's in 1943. And it goes until the end of the war. And it's a good book. These two women, they come from two different sides of the, two different sides of I don't know how to explain it. Like, two different sides. I don't want to say spectrum. I guess I could say that. The one lives in the New England states. The one lives in Massachusetts. The one lives in Iowa. The one is a younger woman who has 2 children. The other woman is older. They're in their 40s. Her husband's at war. So is her son. And it's a nice book. I really enjoyed it. There are some things that happen in the book that are sad, but and some things that like, you really wanted this character to be like, you need to choose between 2 things, and you wanted her to choose the one thing, but I think like they wanted the girl wanted to choose the other thing in the book, the other choice in the book. But it was a good book. It was written, I forget when it was written. It's like an older book. I got this at Walmart. It was in like a thing that said like $5.97, all these books in this bin. It was written in 2013. And it was a good book. I really liked it. It was different. I needed a break from all of the mystery books I read for this book review video. So that was a good like breakup in between each book. So I really liked it. This one, like, it wanted you, like, even though it wasn't in chapter format, it really wanted you to keep reading it. Like, all I wanted to do was keep reading this book. And they also write to their husbands and their son that's in the war, too. It was just a good book. Like, I wish they made a movie out of this book, because it was just that good. So, that was my book review video for this month. Probably next month I'll have another book review video out. Hopefully it won't take me that long. It was just some of the times of some of these books, like, I read and, like, they didn't really interest me, so I put them down, and then I picked them back up, and stuff like that. So that's why it took me a long time to do a book review video. But I'll see you guys next time with another book review video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.